AsthaAvadhānam, meaning eightfold concentration. Though the avadhan, the way it happens, when we look at it, we will see that it is a multiple concentration feat or a performance of simultaneous concentration, though the modern psychology doesn't accept simultaneous concentration. It's not possible. There must be some gap. Yet, it's amazing to see any avadhan program and then how AsthaAvadhānis manage attending to 8 different people, asking them questions where the avadhani is the performer, Avadhānaṃ is the program, is the performance, and avadhani is the person who is giving the performance. If the person is attending to 8 different questionnaires, 8 different items, so he is known as AsthaAvadhāni. Similarly, you have Saptavarnas. They attend to 100 different questions. The number of people may be less, but questions will be 100. There are Sahasravadhanis. They attend to 1000 different questions. 1000 different questions. But AsthaAvadhānam is a most popular form of Avadhānaṃ art form. And this Avadhānaṃ takes place as it is prevalent today. When we look at today's situation, the AsthaAvadhānam takes place either in Telegu or Kannada or in Sanskrit. So these are the 3 languages where Avadhānam takes place. And East Godavari district is the hub of Avadhanis. So maximum number of Avadhanis live in Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra Pradesh has kept this Avadhānam tradition alive, and to a great extent or to some extent that you will find in Kannada. And in Kannada, there is a revival of this art form. So everyone must be familiar with the name Shatavadhani R. Ganesh, a genius, a Shatavadhani, and proficient in various languages. So he has been constantly making efforts to revive and even train some of his students and others who are intent on learning from him. So on a regular basis, so they practice amongst themselves and get the training from him, training from each other, and this is how they are reviving the art form in Kannada. They also do it in Sanskrit and Kannada. So now in AsthaAvadhānam, what happens? Who are these questioners? So in this talk, step by step, I will be talking about AsthaAvadhānam, Shatavadhānam, Sahasravadhanam, and the various Avadhan forms, the literary and other art forms. So, but let me start with AsthaAvadhānam, and then slowly I will discuss about various other art forms connected with Avadhānam and various Avadhanis who are present at the present age. So in AsthaAvadhānam, just imagine there is the Avadhani who is sitting in the center. He takes the center place, and on his both sides, so on one side, left side 4 people and the right side 4 people are sitting. These 8 people are known as Pruchakas. Pruchaka means questioner. They will be questioning. So they are known as Pruchakas. Each Pruchaka is also equally talented like the Avadhani, because they have to pose questions. There are many challenges. So each Pruchaka is also a Vidwan. But please remember, it's not a group which is working. any Vidwan can become a Pritchaka in the Avadhānaṃ. It is not pre-decided. Maybe like they will decide on the spot, or maybe it is decided a day before, but they don't practice that this is what we will be doing. So it's an instant test of the inner abilities and capacities of the Avadhani. So imagine the center place is taken by the Avadhani, the Pritchakas, and there is someone who has to take the role of Adhyaksha, means presiding over the whole performance. So this Adhyaksha has to take note of everything that is happening, whatever the composition, whatever is happening in the Avadhānaṃ, so he alone will be taking note of it, okay, and then give the final verdict whether it was a successful Avadhānaṃ or not. Avadhani keeps no record of what is happening. He just sits, no pen, no paper, nothing. He just sits. Then the Avadhānaṃ program begins. There are various ways Avadhānaṃ program begins. Sometimes the Avadhani getting the instruction from the Adhyaksha begins the Avadhānaṃ by introducing the program, by introducing the Pritchakas, by introducing the Adhyaksha in poetry form. The entire show is an outpour and in extempore poetry form. Okay, so this is the literary feat in poetry form. Every question that the Avadhani has to answer by creating extempore poetry. And please remember, this is also important, the entire performance takes place in 4 rounds. Why 4 rounds? He has to answer by creating extempore poetry, and poetry in Sanskrit means has to have 4 metrical lines. 4 metrical lines together make a complete poem. And the Avadhani, when a question is posed to him with all the challenges, he doesn't answer by creating a complete poetry. In the first round, he will create only 1 line in answer to the questions of all the questioners, Pritchakas, only 1 line. In the second round, no one is going to ask him questions. He will remember the question. He will remember the first line that he composed and then continue from there to give the second line in second round. Once that is complete, then in the third round he will remember the question again, remember the 2 lines he composed and continue to give the third line in answer to the question in the third round. In the fourth round, he will remember the question, remember all the 3 lines he composed, and then complete the poem by giving the 4th round. This is how it takes place. Now the audience is listening only one line in each round. It doesn't remember, the audience doesn't remember what is the total poem. Now the last part of AsthaAvadhānam is called a dharana. Dharana means like here the Avadhani will remember the entire poem, what he composed, and reproduce it again to make the audience listen. This was the complete poem for each Pritchakas. This is how the Avadhānaṃ performance takes place.